Hi, guys. I wanted to take the time today to thank Donna. Thank you, Donna. It really means a lot to me. Somebody who watches your YouTube channel and, uh, feels inspired to go help people that really need help. Uh, I've tried to support. There's a lot of orphanages in Africa, Uganda, other places that have a lot of foster kids. When kids are abandoned at a really young age and they don't, it's like you can imagine what somebody feels like when you're growing up where you don't have a mom and dad. It feels like the world abandoned you. And so there's a lot of rebuilding psychologically that needs to happen, when somebody goes through that. And um, not only that, but there's a real opportunity there because you're building from a clean slate where you can teach kids, how unique they are, how special they are, how much they have to offer the world. And then if you give them structure and teach them how to be disciplined in following their dreams, you know, as long as you give them the right structure and how to raise leaders from within and people that know how to organize group efforts and all that stuff, then you can. That's what creates the world that we want to live in, right? So in a way, this is a video. This is a me giving thanks video to you, Donna, because I appreciate you. It's really rare that I finally meet somebody who's kind of like on the same page with what I am trying to do. And at the same time, I need to feel like other people actually want the same thing, right? It's easy to get on here and speak about this all the time, daily, where all we need to do to rebuild this place, the whole world, is you basically have to start a movement of how to restructure and how we can serve one another in the right way. But it's all about structure, and you've got to structure it. You can have the best intent in the world, but that intent will disperse and kind of fall apart if you don't have structure. And so, what I have to do, what I feel like I'm being asked to do, and try to do the work in the background to make sure when people say, yeah, I'd love to do that, that there is some structure behind it to make sure that it goes in the right direction. Uh, yeah. I mean, imagine whole communities that learn how to work together and do what they excuse me, feel like what they need to do for one another in order to be successful. You lift each other up, and then you say, hey, look, this person here is the best person to lead our team, or this person over here is, you know, um, if you can teach people that without having to try and control it, and just teach them how that structure needs to work. They don't have to work with me or us or whoever it is. Then it's still going to create something healthy that gets built. And so this is the ultimate, theme of this video here. And this is something that I'm going to post on LinkedIn and YouTube and other places. So I would really encourage you guys to think about how it is that you want to serve one another and what the best path forward is. For me, I have to be patient, make sure that, there's a lot of people out there that say, well, I've got, I'm going to stay in my own lane. I got my own thing that I serve society, and that's fine if you want to stay an individual. But I can tell you from firsthand experience that when you work together as a team for a common good and apply whatever skill set it is that you have to help that larger and larger business, as long as it doesn't grow dysfunctional, there's no better feeling and there's no better way of spiritual development. For one thing, because you have to learn how to serve the people around you in widening and widening arcs. Not only are you serving the people that are around you and your team, but you're serving people around you that are extended, because you have to think about, okay, what am I doing, and the thing that I am doing, how is it impacting the whole? And so that has to be communicated all the time, and it forces you to think, it forces you to grow, because you move more and more information every time, and you grow as a person, you grow spiritually, and you have to create balance. It's not something that happens overnight, but this is what we're all here to do, right? Is to grow with each other collectively, spiritually, consciously. And the more that we isolate ourselves and just sell an individual service, the more that it pulls us away from the needs of the whole. But we are all part of the whole, and knowing the needs of the whole and being aware of them is what makes us grow, right? That's what makes us more concerned about what needs to happen on a whole scale, a wholesome way of viewing. You know, your higher self is trying to connect with you all the time and say, hey, look, this is what you have to offer. And, you know, the challenge for me has been to do that on a daily basis. So, love you guys. And, you know, this is a general message to go out there that, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, I have to apologize. You know, maybe the message and the way the message was delivered wasn't clear enough to try and make the solution of the problem clear enough, right? So I'm constantly working on myself to make sure that my clarity of purpose and the way that it gets telegraphed is, for one thing, both supportive of where everybody is at right now, because everybody has, you know, especially in the business community or your community at large, if you're involved with it in any way, you're supporting it in some way. But there's always a better way. You know, there's always a way that we can work together and break down those boundaries between us in order to build something that is more constructive and is more fluid and doesn't you know, reverses the flow of special interest, right? You don't want special interest to control the world that we live in. You want to be able to pull power into the group collective, where we're all empowered to help provide something that we all need, instead of building things for the sake of money. Because when you build something for the sake of money, it doesn't necessarily need to have to be something that we need. And I think you guys probably all can figure this one out, right? I mean, if we keep doing things that way, we're going to keep creating, you know, toxic phones that trigger your dopamine response, so you get pulled into it, and then you're not productive anymore. So yeah, I'll leave it at that today. And I'm gonna make this a general video, post it on there for you guys. I'd like you to think about it, and if there's any way that you'd like to support what I'm doing, or have more questions, you know, you can visit circuitbreaker.com with a K. You can get a hold of me at bcurtis@bcurtis.org, and I'd love to speak with you. Thanks for your support. Bye.